What's up guys, it is Chris back with another watch review, and today we are taking a look at a brand that I have not had on the channel before, BENRUS. BENRUS have a very long history in watchmaking. Not only were their watches worn for decades by US military from World War II through the Vietnam War, but they were also worn by the rich and famous. People like Charles Lindbergh, JFK, and Babe Ruth. Even the king of cool, Steve McQueen himself. In fact, in the movie Bullitt, McQueen played a San Francisco cop named Frank Bullitt, and he wore a watch very similar to the one that I'm holding, a field watch by BENRUS. So essentially what BENRUS have done here is reissue that watch from the movie Bullitt that was worn by Steve McQueen, or Steve McQueen's character. And essentially, this is a more beefed up version of that original, that vintage watch. This is a 41mm case. It has a 49mm lug to lug. Now this is a little bit more of a stylized version of it. They have more simple versions where the case is just stainless steel and they have a leather strap. There are a few different colorways, colored dials, obviously, blue, and then there's a beige color, a white color, I believe, as well. This is a slate gray color, which is very, very nice, and I really like it. The dial itself is the most true to the original watch that was worn, the field watch that was actually worn by Steve McQueen. The indices and hands are very similar to the one that was worn by Steve McQueen, so I could put it side by side and you could see that they are actually very similar in appearance dial-wise. Case-wise, not so much. They have definitely beefed this up to be more modern, obviously. I think people want a larger watch. 41mm is not huge, and this actually wears very comfortably on my 7.5 inch wrist, and I'll show you guys just in a few minutes how that looks. So this gets 100 meters water resistance. You have a screwed-in crown, screwed-in case back, which is actually very nice on a field watch. So 100 meters water resistance, which is very nice. A date window here at 3 o'clock. It is not color matched, so you do see that contrast on the dial. You either love that or hate that. That's completely up to the purchaser. And you do get to see the Miyota movement from the back. It is a Miyota 8 series, Japanese made movement, obviously. The back is actually very nice on this watch, and it has the typical, worksheet of specs on the back, but it is actually under the mineral crystal. So this gets a mineral crystal on the front and the back. The front is a K1 hardened mineral crystal. It is domed and boxed, which looks really good. On the back, you have a flat mineral crystal, obviously. However, part of the case back is underneath that mineral crystal, and then all of the specs are on the inside of there. It just says that it's American design and a Japanese movement, and it gives you the water resistance. The movement doesn't look bad. It is an 8 series Miyota movement. However, this does hack and hand wind, so it is slightly upgraded from the typical 8 series Miyota movement. It is not loud, and a lot of people complain about the movement being loud on these Miyota movements. You could hear it. It's not very loud at all, and that's just the typical complaint that people make about these Miyota movements. So getting into the watch, and I'll throw it on my wrist so you could see how this watch looks on my wrist. But very quickly, I am wearing James and Muriel. This is their diver watch that I'm going to be doing a full review on very soon. It has to go back to the brand very soon, so I will be doing a full review. Definitely check out their website. These are still in pre-order. I think these are going in to production very, very soon, so definitely check them out. So here is the Heritage Field Watch on my wrist. So they've made a few different watches now, I believe, on their website. There's also the Sky Chief, which is a very popular watch from BENRUS as well. And I believe they are also coming out with one of their mil-spec divers. I think it was like the Type 2 that they called it. And they are now promoting that on their website. So check out their website if you're interested in some of these watches. They do have a pretty cool history. They've been owned by a bunch of different owners over the years. However, they have been around a while and they have made some very, very cool watches. And I have to say, this watch, and I've been wearing it for a little while, is very, very comfortable. It looks really good on my wrist. I like the black case and the camouflage strap. You have to like that. You have to be into it. I don't think this is for everyone. They do make plainer versions of this. As I mentioned, you can get it with a Milanese bracelet or a mesh bracelet, I believe. But we'll talk about price really quickly. So they just recently had a special where you can get these as low as $879. Their normal price is just over $1,000 at around $1,100, and it all depends on what kind of version you're going to get. If you want it on a bracelet, they're a little bit more expensive. On the leather strap, I think they're the same as the NATO strap. So these aren't cheap. They are not cheap by any means. They are pretty expensive, especially considering you're getting a Miyota movement in here. However, if you are into getting a Steve McQueen watch, when you really think about it, you know, Steve McQueen wore a few watches that he's famous for, and this is one of them, which is kind of cool. And I think that this is an actually pretty high quality watch, and I've been wearing it, like I said, for a few weeks, and I've really enjoyed wearing it. I'm going to be very sad to see it go back. These are really good when they're running a special, so definitely check out their website. I'll put a link to their website in the description below. If you are keen on one of these watches, definitely check them out. They are very good looking. And I really like the dial on this watch. We will do a Loom shot very quickly so you guys can see what the Loom looks like on these watches. Don't expect too much because obviously it's at a field watch and from somewhat of a major brand. I wouldn't call these guys a micro brand. They have been around for quite some time, but let's see what the Loom looks like, and we will check that out now. Okay, so Loom, better than expected. As you can see, pretty bright. Those hands are very bright, and the indices are also pretty bright. Not as bright as those hands. Those hands are very liberally applied with Loom. In general, a really good looking watch. I think a really well made watch, and I think it's the most affordable McQueen watch that you can get. So in other words, if you want a Steve McQueen watch, I think this is the most affordable one that you could actually get. Even though these are quite expensive for what you're getting, you know, you're getting a mineral crystal and a Miyota 8 series movement. This is kind of on the pricier side, or is on the pricier side. You do get that cachet of having a Steve McQueen watch. So it's really up to the person who's purchasing. Do you want to pay for that or do you not? I think it's pretty cool, and I really enjoyed wearing this watch over the past few weeks. I really enjoyed it, and I would be very sad to see this watch go. Anyway, tell me what you think about this watch in the comments below. I know it will be a little bit controversial. I think it's a really good looking watch. I like the proportions, and I like the connection to Steve McQueen. But I want to hear from you guys. I'm always interested to hear from you guys. I want to hear what you guys think, so please add a comment below. Please also don't forget to hit that like button if you found this video interesting or helpful. Please also subscribe to the channel if you have not. It very much helps the channel, and I very much appreciate it. Please also follow me on Instagram. My Instagram is WatchChrisBlog. I have some links in the description. Those links are to Amazon. If you click those links and buy anything through those links, it helps support the channel, doesn't cost you anything extra or interrupt your Prime benefits. Anyway, thank you for logging on, and I will catch you guys in the next video.